In this episode, I'm going to tell you about 3 ways that I listen to audiobooks and 3 low-cost options that I use for those listening sessions, right after the intro. If you want to get started on listening to audiobooks and you want to know what's the best way to do it, what's the most low-cost way to do it without spending a whole lot of money, I'm going to go over the 3 places that I listen to them and the items that I use to listen to. First of all, before we get started, I want to say that, of course, to begin with, you will need at least 2 things. One thing is a way to get audiobooks. An Audible account. What I use is an Audible account. And I'm going to put a link in the show notes to where you can get a special deal where you can get a free month of Audible, which includes 2 free books. And I've had an Audible account for several years, probably 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. And another item that you need is an actual device that will play the audiobook. And what I use, this right here, my phone. You can use any old phone. What I have here is a Pixel 4 XL, Google Pixel 4 XL, and works perfectly. I've used every phone that I've had since I've started listening to audiobooks. That's what I've been using as my playback device. I'll put a link to that in the show notes also, just in case you're in the market for a phone. And the Pixel 4 XL is a pretty decent phone. I really like that phone. Now, the first place that I listen to audiobooks, probably where I listen to them the most, is while I'm at work. It's easy to listen to audiobooks when you're doing work. It depends on your job. It depends on what type of job you have. My job, I'm an IT manager, so a lot of my job depends on me sitting at a desk, working at a screen, and I'm alone, I'm by myself or whatever. Every once in a while, I get to where I have to deal with other people and go out and do things where I can't listen to audiobooks during those times. But the majority of the time, I can listen to audiobooks while I'm doing my work. And the way I do this is with this little earbud. It's a very small earbud, and I'm gonna tell you how small it is. I'm actually wearing it right now. You might not even notice it, but this is it right here. Little small earbud. And this earbud is called it's the, I don't even know how you say it, NVAHA. It's not a brand that's you probably ever heard of. It's just a Bluetooth earbud. It's really small, as you can see, but it works out well. I've been using little earbuds like this for probably the last 5 years. This particular one here has what they claim it has a 10-hour battery lifetime and a 2-hour charge time. But I've found that I usually get about 5 or 6 hours battery time if I listen to audiobooks straight through that long. The good thing about it is that it doesn't take long to charge. For the amount of time that I use these earbuds while I'm listening to audiobooks at work, usually when I get in my car to go home, I plug it into my USB cable in the car, just plugged into the little charger in the car. With it being plugged into the USB cable in the car on my drive back and forth to work, that's the only charging time that I ever have. And I hardly ever run into situations where I run out of battery while I'm at work. And my drive back and forth to work is 20 minutes. So 20 minutes home and 20 minutes back to work. It charges those for 40 minutes, I guess. And that usually lasts me the 5 or 6 hours that I use it while I'm at work. Just a small, tiny Bluetooth earbud. Now, the good thing about these, because I'll tell you what happened to me with one of these. I've bought these a bunch of times. And the reason why I bought them a bunch of times is not because they broke, not because they stopped working, not because they wasn't doing what I was expecting them to do. The reason why I bought them so many times is because they're so small that I ended up dropping them somewhere and losing them, not knowing where it went. There is one in my car right now, somewhere in between the seats somewhere that I can't find. I walked out to the car on my lunch break one day with it in my ear, got in the car, and I was doing something. I wasn't even listening to them. I just forgot to take them out my ear. And I did something, I made a mistake and brushed my hand against my ear and it fell out. Fell in between the like where the seatbelt part is in the side of the car, and I've never been able to find it again. So what did I do? I just went back on Amazon and bought another one. And the reason why you can do that, this particular one, which is the most recent one I bought, which I bought probably that incident that I just explained to you happened about 7 months ago. This one right here is, let's see, I'm looking at it right now. It's $13.76. And it got a 5% off coupon, which that's not going to be that much of a deal off of $13, but they're that cheap. $13. I've bought them before and they were $11. I bought them when they were $15, but they're very cheap and they're pretty good. For listening to audiobooks, they're great. I mean, it sounds good. The quality is good. You can even use them for phone calls. I mean, I have used them for phone calls, like say I'm listening to an audiobook or a podcast or music or something, and then I get a phone call. You know, I've answered the phone using these, and the person on the other end didn't know any difference, but I don't use it for that mostly. Most of the time when I'm talking on the phone, I'm in the car. I very seldom talk on the phone, just talk on the phone a lot. So most of the time when I'm talking on the phone, I'm on my way somewhere. And if I'm in the car, I got the hands-free set up, so I'm not using this to talk on the phone. But I have done it before and it works. And the person that I was talking to never knew anything different, you know, about the sound quality or anything. Not anything they told me. But that's this, just the Bluetooth headphones. I would say like a no-name Bluetooth. And you see, I put it in my ear. It sticks. You can barely even see it. I mean, if I look at it this way, you can see it. But most of the time, it's just in there. I always wonder if people think I have a hearing aid or something because it's so small. Usually, if I see somebody that notice it and starts paying attention to it, I'll explain what it is. You know, I don't know why. I don't want them to know. I don't want them to think I have a hearing aid, even though sometimes I can't hear, but that isn't why I'm wearing this. But anyway, that's this, the Bluetooth headphones, 10 hours, 2-hour charge time, and it works great. And it's cheap, $13. $13 will get you in there and you got you a little Bluetooth headphone. They're so cheap that when I bought this one, you know, being that I had lost the other one so many times over the past years, that when I bought this one, I thought about buying more than one just to have a backup or 2 backups because they're so cheap and they work well for what they cost, you know, because you're not going to get no high quality sound. I mean, you can listen to music and the music will sound decent, but you're not going to get like, you know, nothing that's going to blow your mind as far as sound quality when listening to music. But when listening to audiobooks, it's perfect. Small, lightweight, sticks in your ear, you put it in there and forget it's in there, you know. And that's the first item that I use in the first area, which is at work. Now, the second area that I listen to audiobooks is if I go to the gym. You know, sometimes I go to a gym. I haven't been doing it much since COVID and everything, but before then, you know, I'll go to the gym a lot. I have to listen to something while I'm at the gym, whether it be music or whether it be audiobooks or podcasts. Usually, I'd say 99% of the time, what I'm listening to is either podcasts or audiobooks. Music will come, is not something I listen to often. I will listen to it, but I'd say 99% of the time, if you pull my headset off my head and see what I'm listening to, it's either going to be, you're going to hear people talking. You know, either somebody performing as they are, you know, narrating the audiobook, or just people talking about tech topics or MMA books and writing and stuff like that. It'd be some kind of conversation going on, you know, instead of music. Now, in those situations, I can't use my little this because you get to bouncing around and running around on a treadmill or something like that. This will fall out your ear. And not only will it fall, it'll probably hit the ground. It'll probably roll across the room and you'll probably never see it again. Or somebody walking by might step on it and break it because it's so small they wouldn't see it. But what I use is this right here. It's the MPOW noise canceling headset. Nice headset. I mean, decent looking headset. Now the MPOW noise canceling headset. The good thing about this headset is that it has active noise canceling, and there's 2 switches on the headset where you can switch it. If you switch it in one direction, you have the active noise canceling. If you switch it in the other direction, it turns off the noise canceling, and you just listen to it the normal way. It's a Bluetooth 5 headset, and from what they says on Amazon, it says it's a hi-fi deep bass headset. And you know what? The sound on it is actually pretty decent. I use it for listening to podcasts when I'm at the gym. I actually use it for other stuff. Like if I'm at the house, let's say I want to listen to my laptop, do something on my laptop, watch a movie, listen to music, or play a game or something, and I'm in an area where I don't want the sound to annoy others around, I will plug this in. It's Bluetooth, but you can also connect to it with the wire and don't use batteries, you know, when you connect it with the wire and use it that way. But the good thing about this particular headset, it looks nice, you know. looks nice. It's and it's comfortable. Fits pretty well. But the good thing about this headset is, while it's great for the gym, stuff like that, because it's comfortable and it fits on your head, and it'll stay up there when you're doing stuff that's active. But the good thing about it is that it's cheap. Once again, you know, I like trying to find items that I can do what I want for a price that especially for something that I'm not looking to do anything professionally. You know, something like listening to audiobooks is casual leisure, you know, so I'm not looking to go out and spend $200-$300 on a pair of headsets. So I'm looking for something that can give me almost the quality of those $200-$300 headsets, but with a fraction of the cost. And these headsets, I think when I bought them, they were $40. I see right now on Amazon they're listed as $52.99. Oh, they're listed right now. They're listed on Amazon for $52.99, but they also have a $10 off coupon, so it still would be $42. You know, I think I paid $40 when I got mine. I've had mine for about a year, and they're still in pretty good shape. But I pretty much treat my tech stuff pretty good, so I might not be a good judge of when you're looking at how well something lasts. That's the MPOW headset. I've had mine for a year. Before that, I had another similar headset. I think it was still MPOW. The only reason I changed it was because actually I bought this pair here only because the one I had before had some big silver shiny stuff on it that I didn't like. It was more of something that wasn't pleasing to the eyes for me as far as I was concerned. I just didn't like the shiny silver stuff that was on the ears. So I wanted to get something that were all black, that wasn't like, you know, had any shiny plasticky metal looking stuff on it. So I got those. They're pretty good, and you can get them right now, $52.99, $10 off. They're cheap. They work well. The battery life is pretty good. You can use them plugged in if you don't want to use a battery, or, you know, Bluetooth, you know, either way. And they work well for situations like going to the gym, if you're going to be, you know, just chilling somewhere where you don't want to have to worry about the little tiny earbuds, but you want something that has a little bit better sound, especially if you're going to be listening to music or something, and it's going to stay on your head and you're not going to worry about it, and it's low cost, you know. And that's the MPOW headset, and I'll put a link to that show. Now, the last area, which is the most difficult area for me to find a good solution, the last area that I like to listen to audiobooks and podcasts and stuff like that is in my car when I'm driving. For many people, this won't be a problem. A lot of cars these days have where you can connect to your car via Bluetooth. And my car has it too, but the only thing that works when I connect my phone via Bluetooth to my car is the phone. It doesn't play media. It'll do phone calls. It'll do hands-free. It'll integrate with the dashboard as far as you being able to make calls from the dashboard instead of the phone. It'll do all of that stuff as far as using it as a phone, using it as a hands-free device. But if you go to try to play any type of media, it doesn't do it. So I got to find another way to do that. And the way that I found is this device here, which I wish I had it here to show you, but it's actually in the car. I keep it in the car. I didn't bother to go get it. It's the Soundbot SB360 Bluetooth car kit. And basically, it's just a small car kit that plugs into your auxiliary port in your dashboard. Now, if you don't have an auxiliary port, that makes it a little more tough. You know, I've had years where I didn't have an auxiliary port, and I tried to use all of those FM modulators and all of that. I even had the CD, not the CD, but the cassette that had the little cable. I've had that. You know, that actually works better than an FM modulator, to be honest with you. On an FM modulator, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the thing where you will tune the actual device to a station, and then you'll tune the station in your radio to that same station, and it'll pick up whatever you have plugged into the FM modulator and play it across your radio speakers. That's been something that's been hit and miss with me. It's been something that I used to tweak with more than I actually enjoyed using the device. And when I decided to get this Soundbot, I just was like, I don't want to deal with that. I want to plug it into the auxiliary port. My phone connects to the Soundbot via Bluetooth, and the Soundbot plugs into the auxiliary port. And I always have my phone. Every time I get in the car, my phone automatically connects, and whatever I play on my phone plays across on the stereo in the car. And it's great for listening to audiobooks while you're traveling. And it's just something that you just don't have to worry about. Once you have it set up in your car, the most difficult part of setting this up is trying to get it in a way where you got your wires where you want them so they're not in the way. Trying to find a convenient place to put them. They come with a little sticker pad that you can stick on your dashboard somewhere so you can have access to it, but I just keep it in the center console. I keep it in the drawer. I don't even pull it out. I got the cable. The way my car is, if you lift up the center console, there's a auxiliary port inside the center console and a car charger, a cigarette lighter port. So I just plug it all in there. Everything is contained inside that console and I never take it out. I never have to do anything with it. You know, I get in the car and as soon as I start the car, it starts and my phone automatically connects. And then I'm listening to audiobooks or Spotify or whatever from my phone through my car stereo. Now, the good thing about this Soundbot SB360, it is only $19.99. It's cheap. It's $19.99. That's another thing that you could buy more than one if you feared one was going to break or something like that. But I'll be honest with you, this one that I've had for 5 years. I bought it around the same time I started listening to audiobooks. And I've had it the whole time. I've had like maybe 3 cars since I've bought this thing, and I've just moved it from one car to the next. And I've had it for that long, and it's always working. It still works. I listen to it every single day. Every time I get in the car, that's what I'm using. I never listen to the car radio. I always listen to my phone connected to the Soundbot, over Bluetooth. Whether it's music, whether it's audiobooks, whether it's podcasts, that's how I'm always listening to it when I'm in the car. Even when I'm using navigation, I usually use navigation on my phone. I have navigation in the car, but the maps are outdated, so I don't even bother with it. I just use Waze on my phone, and even that, it spout the directions off on my stereo because it's connected to the Soundbot with Bluetooth. So there you have it. The 3 ways that I listen to podcasts are the back and forth driving in the car. That's when I use the Soundbot at work. That's when I use these little Bluetooth earbuds here. And when I'm at the gym or just out for a walk, that's when I got the MPOW Bluetooth headphones here. And I'll put a link to all of those in the show notes below. And if you got anything that you like to use that may be better, maybe more cost effective, or maybe they're not cost effective, but they're just so good that the price doesn't matter, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Let me know what you use to listen to audiobooks and podcasts and stuff like that. And if you want to see more videos about me talking about different aspects of listening to audiobooks, go ahead and check out the video right there, or right there, wherever it is. You should see a link to a video to my audiobook playlist. And you have a good day.